Hello everyone, Grandmaster Akobian here with 1000 GM, and now I'll be showing you in this video my round 5 game. This was a kind of a heartbreaker, guys. I played a good game, got to the winning position, and was doing fine on the clock as well too, and just something just turned off in my mind, and I ended up making a move that I should never even consider, and let my advantage slip away, and the game ended in a draw. So, my opponent is a young Grandmaster, Andrew Hong. Very good player, up-and-coming player. So whenever you're playing these young GMs, up-and-coming players, you don't know exactly how strong they are. Their rating might be underrated, okay? And he's been playing some really good chess lately, and I've never played him before, so I didn't know what to expect. So I open up with my d4, knight f6, c46. It seems like every opponent with black was trying to play the Nimzo Indian against me in this tournament. Every time we see the same move order, and every time I play knight f3. So far, I was 2-2. And this should have been, guys, 3-3. You'll see a type of position I did not win. Okay. So now it goes here. Knight c3. So we transpose into the Ragozin defense. Okay. Not quite a Nimzo Indian, but, kind of similar type of structure where black is developing the bishop on b4 and really trying to play hard. Really trying to play hard to cover the e4 square. So I took x, and I play queen a4. This is the line I normally play, so that's why I went for it. My opponent was, kind of familiar, but he was taking some time, so I wasn't so sure if he expected me to play this. So e3, castle, bishop b2. And here, as far as I know, the main move is rook d8. You play rook d8, a6. These are the standard ideas: rook d8, a6, bishop e6. Okay. We can double check together just to make sure. But yeah, rook d8. Okay, it's there are a few moves here. Bishop e6 is the very main move. A6, rook d8, and bishop c3, which has been played, but only 17 times. So it wasn't like something I just remember on top of my head. But my opponent was apparently aware of this. So when you take on c3, it looks good for white, because I didn't even play a3 yet, and you're giving up the bishop. And now white has a very good center. Now it plays bishop here. Bishop d7. I think it's still. I want to find out where the theory is. So I play queen b3, which was fine. Queen d6. Queen b3 is, by the way, double attack, attacking the b7 and attacking the d5. Yeah. Now I play queen b7, and this is the novelty. Novelty is like when it's a new move. Okay, it's a new move that never been played before. Okay. So now queen takes b7. My opponent plays rook a b8. He's gonna be down a pawn for initiative. Rook goes on b2. I castle. Very important to get the safety, and now goes here. So the question is here for you guys: what do you think of this position? I want to pause here and give you a couple of minutes to think. I'm up a pawn, clearly up a pawn, but my opponent's rooks are very active, and he has a control of the b file. So what do you think? Is it worth going for this, or black has too much compensation? Let's give you a couple of seconds to think on this. All right. So hopefully you had some time to think, and you managed to evaluate this position. So here, the reason I went for this, I like my chance, because I said to myself, if I can defend and trade these rooks, I'll just have an extra pawn, and very likely I'll be just winning this game. So that's why I was willing to take this risk. So now I play queen d3. Queen a3, c4. Yeah, c4 is very important because I'm trying to get rid of my backward pawn. And if exchange of queens occur, I can just take bishop e3. Like, for example, take. And now I can play the move knight e5, attacking his bishop. So, and takes, I take. Yeah, and here I can play a knight e5, knight c5. White is just going to be up a pawn here. So not quite enough here. for a full compensation. My opponent played here, and this is a mistake. Queen a5. The better move is queen a4. Okay, this is the best move, and you should have played that. Okay, queen to a5 is inaccuracy. The queen a4, queen is much better placed on a4. You will see now here. Here I missed my chance. I played a3 because I was so worried about the move knight b4. But I had a very interesting line, very strong line for me. I take. It looks like, wait a minute, now the queen is under attack. Queen c3. Takes a3. And now threatening a takes b4, and I'll have a big advantage. I saw this. I actually calculated this. When I saw this move, I kind of stopped. I automatically assume if I take the queen, knight takes, and I'm just losing a piece. But I have queen c4 now, hitting the rook. It's back. Take. And yeah, white is just up several pawns with excellent winning chances. Yeah, so here I had to just calculate a little bit and then play for this idea. C takes d5, and I get rid of my backward pawn on c3. So now a3 played. Idea is to stop knight b4. Now I goes knight e7. Bishop f5 is on top, so I go here. Bishop g4. Now, if I take on d5, then he takes knight takes d5, and this knight is going to jump in on c3. It's going to be quite annoying here. Here, knight c3, and very difficult to stop. So that's fine. c5. Now this pawn chain at least is very strong. And again, if the queens come off the board, I'm just up a pawn. I just have an extra pawn here. I should be able to win this side. So I play c5, bishop f5. Now, when we're ahead, we need to try to trade some pieces. So which trade we should do here, guys? I want to give you a couple of seconds here. Which piece we should try to trade here? Think. And of course, guys, you will see this because his bishop is very strong guarding this diagonal. We simply go bishop here. We try to trade. Takes. Now, one exchange has occurred. He gets active. I just go back. Queen a6. The queen is well placed on this diagonal, and you know, mainly trying to control. And here, I played h3 because I think it's a useful move to get a luft. Knight g6, and now a very nice move here for me. But I want to pause and give you some chance to find this because I'm up a pawn, but his rooks are very active. What can I try to do here? If these rooks come off the board, I will slowly convert this position. But how? Let's see. White to play. What's the best move here? Take your time. Okay, now we have the idea here. We have a very clever move that is going to allow us to trade one pair of rooks. And that move here is rook a2. I was very happy to see this move because now if you go rook b1, I can even just take. And two rooks are better than a queen in this position because my king is very, very safe. Now rook a2. If he takes here, let's say he wants to take here, then I can take queen takes d5, or I can even just go check, pick up the c-pawn, and then try to promote the c-pawn after. Again, my king position is very solid, so it's going to be very hard to create any threats. Rook a2 was fine. a4 is correct. So I did everything right, and I got to this position where, you know, I still had like maybe 7-8 minutes, and I'm up full pawn, as you can see. I have a beautiful pawn chain. I have extra pawn on e3, and the pawns are weak. a7, c7, d5, it's all weak. So all I need to do here is figure out a way to get my queen into the game. I did try to get the queen active with queen d3, but I end up losing my a4 pawn. And there's no need to do that here. So let's see if you can find white's best move here. What should be the plan here? Let's pause and give you a chance to find for a little bit. Okay. So again, I played the move queen d3, and that threw away the a pawn, and essentially was very, very hard to do anything. But the best move here is actually a little bit unexpected, because we just play h4, threatening to play h5, attacking the knight, and put a knight on him. If you go here, simply play knight g5, and then picking up the h5 pawn, and with queen h7, and very, very nice position. And if he plays c6, just try to protect his center. I go here, h5 attack, knight 5, knight is very active, and queen is ready to join the party here, and it's going to be very close to winning. And if you play f6, actually very nice retreat, knight d3, forking the queen and rook and winning material. Yeah, if I played h4, I think I'm just winning this game. I don't see anything really happening here, because there's just absolutely no counterplay. Okay, so but instead I played here, take queen f5, attacking the pawn, but block is just in time, move by move. Now knight e5, putting pressure on f7, f6. I'm back, and now I need to try to activate my pieces. So a5, e4. There are some weaknesses, so that's why I'm trying to open up the position, but my opponent played very solidly. Now he wants to push. I cannot allow that, so I put a blockade on him. Now I was thinking, okay, maybe I can go queen b4 or queen d1 and try to win the a pawn, but he takes. Now knight c6 and queen b4. And we played some moves later, but the game ended in a draw here, and there's no way to make much progress. You cannot move the rook away. You're going to drop the a pawn, and if I move my rook away, then if I move it from a1 to, let's say, e3 and e5, then you can start pushing your a pawn. So I think that's just a draw. The game ended in a draw. Disappointing, because I had a very nice position, but it was not easy. Not easy to convert this position. Okay. Hope you guys enjoyed this video from round number 5 of the US Open against GM Hong, and we have 4 more games coming up. So I will be showing you those 4 critical games. Okay. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you soon.